In the summer of 2016, I got the opportunity to visit the country Haiti. The country Haiti is where my parents were born and they were raised, and I heard a lot of stories about it when I was a youth. I heard a lot of scary stories about it, the people, the environment, the animals, just everything about it. So I just took the opportunity to see the origins of where it all started. I went to Haiti with my mom, my auntie, and my older cousin Wiegand. The reason why Wiegand went to Haiti was because he wanted to go visit his father that he hasn't seen in over 9 years. When we got to the plane, my parents told me just to go enjoy myself and just have fun. I just told my parents that I'm very excited just to see all the family members that I haven't seen in all these years. After an hour on the plane ride, we got to Port-au-Prince, which is the capital of Haiti. When we got off the plane, we got to the city. I made a distinction between Haiti and America, and I realized that Haiti is very underdeveloped as a country. Haiti is still recovering from the 2010 earthquake and the numerous hurricanes that happened throughout the years. Just the sight of the rubble and the piles of trash being torched on the street just made me realize I was really in a different atmosphere. We got a ride from a family friend of ours to take us to the apartment where we were staying at. On our way there's a couple of stragglers clinging on to the vehicle, begging us for money. My dad told me to pay them no mind because the only thing they're just trying to do was just take our money. When we arrived at the apartment, there were a couple of people waiting for us. And when we got out of the car, I heard someone say in Creole, "Which one's Wiegand?" That person was Wiegand's father. Wiegand went up to his father and he told his father, "I'm right here." He stared at Wiegand right in the eye and began to cry. They shared a very emotional hug while I got to meet my mom's two cousins, Mamoun and Nelly. And I also met Mamoun's daughter, Erica. They told us that the apartment's electricity cuts off around 8 o'clock and that there's no AC. I thought to myself, how are they thriving like this? But I came to the realization that they're not trying to thrive, they're just trying to survive. Wiegand, his father, and their mom, they left to go to St. Louis du Nord, which is the hometown of our parents. While they left, I took the opportunity to get to know Mamu, Nelly, and Erica a little bit more. Now, the only problem was the language barrier. Now, I remember speaking to Mamu, and Mamu spoke in English a little bit. I remember she said she wanted to go to Miami. She wanted to go to New York. She paused, and then she just laughed. And then she told me in Creole how she wanted to improve on her English so her and Erica can have a better life in America and so that she can live with us. I told her that I wanted the same thing. After our conversation ended, I told Mama that I really want to go to St. Louis du Nord because that's where my parents were raised. So I went to my parents' room where they're sleeping, and I asked them if I can please go to St. Louis du Nord. They agreed. We took an 8-hour trip to St. Louis du Nord. It was worth the trip, but the bus did get stranded in the middle of nowhere in some farmland. But the scenery of the land was just beautiful. Just the sound of the wildlife, the laughter, and the people putting in the work just made me really feel at ease. When we got to St. Louis du Nord, I was staying at my grandfather's house. And he gave me a styrofoam box full of food in it. Once the pasta hit my taste buds, I went crazy. The taste of the cuisine was so good that I devoured it so quickly. Coming into the next day, I forgot everything that just happened. My father took me to my aunt's house, where she actually lived in a hut and raised her 5 children in the hut. And I was astounded. When I was talking to my auntie told me that she hopes one day that I can become successful so I can make a bigger change to Haiti and make a big impact. Her words stuck with me. Once I left, my auntie yelled and told me that for me to improve in my Creole before I came back. Later on that day, we went to a lake where people bathed or swam at. And as I touched the water, I stared into the vast ocean. It was very soothing. Me being at St. Louis du Nord just made me feel at ease and at peace. It was getting dark, so when we got back to the city was just full of light. all different kinds of music was playing, people just dancing, and obviously the food was obviously the best part. But just the smell, the smoky, rich air was making me feel all these type of emotions that I never felt before. As I was in the moment, a little kid went up to me and asked me if I had some food. I told the little kid that I know I do not have any food with me, nor I do not even have change with me, because he also asked me if I had money. He walked away. The next day, I was back in Port-au-Prince, and I was getting ready to leave. As I was going, before I left, Erica, she came into us and she started to cry how she didn't want us to leave. I told Erica, you really made this experience very, very special to me, and that I'll never forget you guys. When I got back to the States, I told my parents that I want to go back to Haiti again. And they told me that one day we will.